With Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster around the corner, it begs the question, should you revisit Dead Rising, the original? Now, I'm not telling anyone to go back and play it on the 360, unlike back then when it was only on the 360. It's easily accessible, it doesn't matter which platform you're on, whether you're on PlayStation, Xbox or PC, there is a version to play. And on top of that, it's 60 FPS. It's not perfect, mind you, of an edition. It doesn't exactly crash or anything like that. It's just, there's random bugs here and there where you go into the outside area. It very rarely happens, but it does happen. And the audio can just completely cut out. And I mean, no footsteps, no music, no nothing, no zombie groans until you go back into the shopping mall and then it resets and it's back to normal. I have no idea what triggers that bug, but it's a bug that happens now and again when I replay the game. Because when I replay the game, I replay the PS4, Xbox One version of the game, because why would you go back and play it on the 360? Now, I don't really notice any too many like bugs pertaining to putting the game at 60 FPS. It's not like Resident Evil 4, where you get random glitches here and there. I don't seem to notice anything like that, but I'm not as educated when it comes to the original Dead Rising. I played through the 360 version once back in the day, and then I didn't really get into Dead Rising until it was re-released on the PS4. That's when I really sunk my teeth into it, and that's going to be my first point when it comes to revisiting Dead Rising. I see a lot of people complain about the difficulty of Dead Rising 1, and I understand the game can be a little bit unforgiving at times. The zombies can be a little bit aggressive. Your health bar can drain so quick, you can get stun locked, and then you end up going all the way back to a save point. It's a little archaic for today's standards of video games, and I can understand why they're including autosaves and whatnot in this new deluxe remaster. Quality of life improvements, if you will. Things that people can't tolerate these days. But let me just tell you, do not fear dying in Dead Rising. The game is designed beautifully around this. When I originally beat Dead Rising back in the day, I didn't do everything right the first time. I didn't hit level 50 on first playthrough. I didn't grab everything here and there. I didn't save 50 survivors, fill the notebook up, get all the PP stickers. None of this happened on first playthrough. My first playthrough, I got so far into it, I think it's the second fight with Carlito, and Carlito pushed my shit in. It was over, game over. But the beautiful thing about Dead Rising is when it says game over, it's not game over. Just say, save your progress, restart, and all of a sudden you're starting the game at level 18, and you're like, hang on a second, now everything seems a bit more easier. So while Dead Rising doesn't have difficulty settings, all of a sudden that time is not too bad because you're leveled up and Frank's now running super fast, so you can deal with a timer. You're a bit more knowledgeable on certain things of the game, you know where certain items are, and that's where the beauty is. It's learning the ins and outs of Dead Rising 1. Learn where items are, learn where bosses are, learn the patterns, and all of a sudden you're glued. It becomes this like weird routine of just the stress is gone. It becomes this chilled experience. And although there's no getting around the AI of the survivors, and the survivors will do stupid things here and there, and you can't stop that. No matter how many times you played the game, no matter what you think you know about Dead Rising, the AI is there to deliberately fuck up and ruin a run. So obviously make sure you're saving the game when you go into safe rooms and whatnot, and the toilets, just so you got backups, because trust me, it's just how it goes. Learn what weapons do what, learn about the books in the game. The books can make things like the mini chainsaws last for an eternity that you get off Adam the Clown, which you're seeing here, this fight. This fight is super easy. People have a hard time with it. Just do exactly what I'm doing on the screen and you'll win. Just make sure you've got the mannequin body. It seems to knock him over straight away, and then you run away, let him do an attack, run back in, hit him again, and just repeat until he's dead. Make sure you got health items and you'll be fine. People really struggle with this fight, but it's all about knowing what weapons do what. Don't run at them with a knife and start slicing at them. But anyway, when you beat this clown, you get the mini chainsaw, and when you pick the mini chainsaw up, it's so overpowered for bosses, zombies, everything. It just annihilates everything in a couple of swipes. It does. You just have to know the 3 books you want to get from the bookstores, and you've pretty much got an infinite mini chainsaw for the rest of the game, and you can always go back and pick them up. It makes the game so easy, to be honest. But again, it's just something you're not going to know about when you first play the game. It's all about knowledge. But when it comes to, is it really worth revisiting Dead Rising 1 when it comes to like that remaster being around the corner? And honestly, I'm gonna say yes. I think you're gonna get more out of the remaster if you really know what the original is. You're gonna be able to tell what's different, you're gonna be able to tell what's new, what's changed, and I think that's gonna be the major difference between the two games, because we're getting a visual change, we're getting an art style change where some characters are concerned, and we're also getting voice changes. This could really change the tone of the game. The tone of the game is obviously a zombie apocalypse. It's very Dawn of the Dead, very George Romero. This gives you very stereotypical main characters, but they're very aware of what they are. You've got very over-the-top psychopaths, and then you've got your gore and your creep factor with your zombies and your super zombies that come out at night. And that's the beauty of Dead Rising. It is a blend of comedy, horror, action, and it has everything you need and a great conspiracy storyline that is just, it's a great little mystery that you, when you get to the end of it, you're like, that's pretty cool concept. I like where the zombies have come from. I like what started the actual zombie outbreak in Willamette's Mall. It's such a good game. I've just recently went through it again, and I loved every second of it. I made a mistake with one of the survivors, which really pissed me off, because it was such an easy one. I never understood what I missed. And now that I'm thinking about it, I know what it was that I missed, and it's right in front of you, and it's just like, how did I miss that? But yeah, I got my 50 survivors out. You will not do that on your first attempt, and that's fine. You don't need to perfect Dead Rising when you first play it. Understand that you're not going to do that well when you first play it. It's going to kick your ass. You're going to get stressed out by the timer, and you're going to miss things, and you might not get to the ending. But just stick with it, man. Try another playthrough with the leveled up specs, and you're ready to go. You can beat Dead Rising. And when you do, I don't feel like your love for Dead Rising kicks off on that first playthrough. Even if you've played it before, go back and try it again. And any knowledge you get from playing this version anyway is going to transfer over to the new one, because according to Capcom, the core gameplay is exactly the same. So they're not going to change too much. It's going to be the same experience. And unless they mess with the balancing of items and whatnot, anyone who's already played Dead Rising is going to have a head start on anyone who hasn't. So just, that's another way to look at it, right? Do you want a head start on those trophies and achievements? Do you want a head start on being good at the game? Beat the original version of the game. Will the remaster even live up to this version of the game? Will you have more knowledge in the sense that you can go, I like the remaster, but I prefer the original because this, and this. While if you don't have that knowledge, you're going to be looking at people, anyone who says that like the original version, and just be like, oh, you're just being nostalgic. Because we've all seen that argument before. You're going to know about cut content, censored content, changes, voice acting, everything. Any kind of dialogue changes, you're going to know it all because you've played the original game. So yes, the answer to the question is yes. You absolutely should revisit Dead Rising or play it for the first time. It's cheap, easily accessible, it's a great game. Yes, it can be hard, but learn it, master it, perfect it, and all of a sudden you'll have a top 10 video game on your hands. Because I honestly, every time I revisit Dead Rising, it's like I forget how good it is. It's one of those games you're like, Dead Rising's good, but I don't know if it's top 10 good, and then you replay it and you're like, yeah, it's definitely top 10 good. What a game. It's absolutely superb. But yes, you should revisit Dead Rising. Are you gonna revisit Dead Rising? Let me know down below. Never played it before? Let me know down below. Are you just gonna wait for the remaster and just go, Glenn, shut up. We don't care. We want the remaster. We've played it enough. Let's get that remaster. Let me know down below. If you're new here, subscribe. But yeah, that's all I got, people. I'll catch you later.